Our choices define the quality of our lives. 30 years ago, my brother and I were hiking in the Borneo rainforest. The trees were standing like giants from the past, and the cloud-filled canopy was serene and mysterious. We were inside the lungs of the earth. I felt so deeply at ease and thankful to be in that magical place with somebody that I love so much. Have you ever been to a place so magical that it totally takes your breath away? This is my story about the impact of our choices on the natural world, and a very personal call to action on behalf of all future generations. You see, back then, I was a corporate exec, based in London, traveling to Malaysia, focusing on helping big companies, including clothing manufacturers, to increase their profits, grow their revenue, become more efficient. Unfortunately, I was very naive about this short-sighted outlook and the profiteering of the corporate world. Many times when flying in, I would look down on the rainforest from above. And in less than 3 years, like a crazy time-lapse movie, I witnessed the destruction of that ecosystem as it was steadily replaced by factories, roads, and a huge container terminal. Flying in for yet another factory opening, I suddenly realized something was terribly wrong. Here I was, living the corporate dream, and yet a vital resource was being destroyed. I felt like I had blood on my own hands. So the next day at a client meeting, I passionately spoke out about this collision of man versus nature, and how human actions, marketing, were destroying a vital natural resource. I assumed I was with friends and I was speaking openly. The next day I was fired from my job for speaking out. I felt like several parts of my world were collapsing. So, upon returning home, I decided to dedicate my skills and resources to inspiring change at a corporate level. And for many years, over 20 years, I have helped global companies advance their sustainability journeys, improving end-to-end supply chains, genuinely making a difference, but while working with great forward-thinking corporations like Walmart, Tesla, General Mills, and others who are doing their best. It continues to be completely clear corporations are primarily driven by profit. And we can complain all we like about this corporate issue, but it's consumer choices that are actually driving this destruction. The impacts of consumer choices are very apparent in many areas, but the fastest rising area of planet destruction and consumer waste is the fast fashion industry. Last year alone, 150 billion items of new clothing were purchased. That's 21 items for every man, woman, and child on the planet. And if you think about every second, a garbage truck full, 20 tons of clothing is being either incinerated or dumped every second. And the impact, not only on the natural world, where does all this go? The microplastics in the low-cost, generally petrochemical-based clothing go into the air every time we dry them, go into the water every time they're washed, and at the end of life, they go into the food system. Microplastics is a huge issue. Last year alone, the fast fashion industry decided that there would be 52 seasons. And a McKinsey study, very reputable study, confirmed that a new item of clothing, the average consumer buys a new item of clothing every 5 days. And out of the 5 items that are bought by the average consumer, 3 of them end up in landfill. One fast fashion company recently invested in 6 all-cargo, dedicated jumbo jets to fly their products across the Pacific because sea freight was too slow. Yet fast fashion already accounts for over 15% of all global greenhouse gas. That's more than international shipping and aviation combined. The Ellen MacArthur Foundation reported that by 2050 this is set to double if we continue with current buying habits. So, fast fashion is driven by the social media and the influencers encouraging people to buy more and more and more, which results in a throwaway society with many items being worn only once, if at all. So, there is something we can do. The 2 important parts of this puzzle. Number 1, why is new so compelling? And secondly, what can we do to inspire consumers to choose not to buy new items? Well, fortunately, we're here with a big idea that's definitely worth spreading: slow fashion. Slow fashion has been around for many years. Slow fashion means wearing things at least 30 times. It means reusing things, swapping things, donating things, repurposing items. With slow fashion, there is a bridge to a way that we can have enjoyable lives without actually damaging the planet. Fashion is a very important daily art form. Humans love to display themselves, have fun with their clothing. It's part of our plumage to wear fun clothes and to actually enjoy fashion. Yes, we can all be the heroes in this story of change. Thank you. We can have fun with our clothing. We can actually make a difference. So I'm going to share with you 3 new questions, N-E-W, to talk about slow fashion. The first question, N, do I really need that new item? Often we buy something because we're bored, seeking connection, looking for that dopamine hit of excitement. It's been proven, though, that actually that's very short-lived. Even when going to buy something for a friend, that's a short-lived dopamine hit. Studies show that a much greater level of excitement and deep connection by going for a hike, visiting with a friend. Maybe actually doing something that's an act of service for others. These can all give great dopamine hits. And even a product experience that's not actually a new purchase, but a gift from somebody, thank you, Jody, is fantastic for having that sense of value from an item. As you might have guessed, every single item that I'm wearing today, is borrowed. Thank you to my friend. Yes, every item. The second question, E, eco-friendly. So if I do need something else, is there an eco-friendly way I can get it? Thrifting, repurposing, borrowing, sharing an item. There are many, many great ways to do it. Thrifting costs less, repurposing or reusing costs nothing, and sharing adds so much enjoyment, so much connection with our friends by reusing items. If we do need to buy something new, avoid polyester, nylon, and other petrochemical-based products in favor of many of the eco-friendly alternatives. Mushroom roots, mycelium, are now replacing leather in a very sustainable way. These shoes and this handbag are made of mycelium. There's a very effective way that we can think about this, and I invite you all, the next time you're going shopping, is there something that you can do to leave at least one more tree standing? And to help with this, waste. It's very helpful when feeling that impulse to click online, buy something, go to the mall. Think about what's going to happen at the end of life to this item that I'm buying. The whole life cycle, after 30 uses, turning it into something to wash the car with, whatever's going to happen to it, what's going to happen? There's no such place as a way. Something's going to happen to that item. And thrifting's a great thing, and it's part of the solution. But unfortunately, less than 10% of items that are donated ever get sold. They get baled up and sent to the pile you saw before. The final statistic for today. There's already enough clothing on this planet for the next 6 generations. If we bought nothing more, we'd be fine for 6 generations. So I invite you to think about need, eco-friendly and waste each time. See if you can share it. See if you can actually inspire. The next time you feel like going shopping with a friend, talk about these: need, eco-friendly and waste. Slow fashion can be an amazingly powerful change in the world. It can be good for our bank balances, good for our homes, and very good for our communities. I will close with the inspiring words from Margaret Mead. I'm 100% certain that a small group of thoughtful, committed individuals can find new ways to change the world. Indeed, it's the only thing that ever has.